Welcome back to another The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly for the pre-sequel, and today is Hyperion SMGs. Hyperion SMGs, like all Hyperion guns, have reverse recoil, so the longer you fire them, the more accurate they get. They have pretty solid stats other than that, but that's the main gimmick behind them, making them pretty solid SMGs because you can crit more with them, and crits are good. So, for the red text, we have got three different ones to cover. First is the Fatale, which is the bitch redone, but single element. So the Fatale is always cryo. And here you have increased damage, fire rate, and a pretty drastic magazine size increase, I would say. But being locked to cryo only is an interesting choice for this. So the bitch came in all elements. The Fatale does not. Just damage-wise here, I guess, before I get into that thing. I hate the initial sway of these. Well, both of these are cryo, so I guess that's fair. 23,000 damage with the bitch there, 44. So you can see it's drastically a lot more damage. So the cryo thing at first glance, since this is a cryo gun and cryo increases critical hit, that all sounds very cool. But the problem is, there it is, 94 when he's on cryo. The problem is, it's got a really bad cryo chance at only 10%. The other special effect with it is, you can see there, you see how long it takes this one to get to max accuracy. This is there right away, and it is much more accurate, making it very good to hip fire. But 10% cryo chance really sucks on this. If you're going to make a cryo gun, make it good at cryo. Now, there are the Chronicler of Elpis comms, those are the right ones, that always increase your cryo damage and cryo dot chance, which makes this gun is really good with those comms. If you're doing builds based around those comms, this is one of the best guns, because then it actually applies the dots pretty well. And that cryo damage, since it's the elemental buff, does increase its damage in a multiplicative way. And you can see when you get the cryo dot on this guy, he does a lot. But the other problem is shields resist cryo. So this guy is going to be a lot harder to cryo. And there are a lot of shields in the game. Now you can get a Loonshine on this to make it have a chance to bypass shields, which really helps it, to be frank. But it just seems to be really weird to lock it to that single element. And I think it kind of hurts this gun, because it just doesn't apply a cryo dot very reliably. Now it does have fast enough fire rate where you can just kind of keep spraying and get that cryo dot on them, but it takes a bit. So overall good, but it's a rehash of the bitch. Now I do love the bitch, but I just think it's weird to make it cryo only. Other than that, I'm a big fan of it. The stats are just better. The recoil is better. The critical hit is obviously much better. Everything is better with this. This gun is amazing. It just seems like an odd choice. Now, it's going to get a little odder considering we go down to the cheat code here. Now, the cheat code is, instead of new Hyperion, it's an old Hyperion, and it's also kind of the bitch, with 75% critical hit damage. And once again, it gets in there pretty quick. I don't think quite as quick as the Fatale, but close. Quicker than other ones, because here's an old Hyperion. So this, much like the bitch, gets in very accurate. But this thing's got a few extra things. First of all, stat-wise, you actually decrease the damage from the regular old Hyperion, but you increase accuracy, fire rate, and reload, which is kind of cool. But you decrease in magazine size quite a bit, which is kind of lame. because 22 goes quick on an SMG. Now you can override that, but compared to the Fatale, you have a lot higher damage still because old just has more damage than new. And then you're lower on everything else, and especially on magazine size. And with this fire rate, that magazine size does not last long. Now this does come in all elements, which is cool. And it has an extra special effect that when you are in fight for your life, this should probably do it. Should have taken that off for the damage, but it applied to them equally. Alright, so this, you can see it's kind of got ammo mitigation while you're in fight for your life, which is very cool. It makes it a really good fight for your life gun because it's pretty accurate fight for your life, and it can shoot for longer. So a bonus fight for your life thing is a cool thing to add to a gun, as long as it's a good gun. Now, if that was the only thing added to the gun, it would be lame. But if that's added on top of the fact that it's kind of a redone bitch, it's kind of cool. Now, the big problem with the cheat code here is it's another bitch. And we already have a redone bitch with the Fatale. And the problem with the pre-sequel, or at least one of the issues with this game for a lot of people, was there's too many rehashed or recycled guns from the first Borderlands. And here for Hyperion SMGs, 2 out of the 3 SMGs we have are like rehashed bitches. And that's kind of lame. It's actually very lame. They should have done something different. You know, if they would have had that effect on the cheat code but made it a different gun, that'd be cool. Like, they're both good guns, don't get me wrong. And depending on your build and who you're playing, one might be better than the other. You know, if you're doing a cryo build with a Chronicler of Elpis comms, the Fatale is hard to beat. I have that on a few of my cryo characters. I have it on my cryo Jack, and I have it on my cryo Athena, and I have it on my... Actually, I haven't done a pure cryo Aurelia with that, but that'd be pretty sweet. I should do that. I will do that at some point. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I will at some point, I think. But it's just, yeah, we have 2 legendary SMGs, but they're both kind of just redone from Borderlands 2. They're different enough, but not enough. So, it's somewhat lame. What did I just switch that to? So, then we have a third gun. I'm just going to get rid of these so I don't have to cycle through them, which is also somewhat lame. So this one, the Black Snake, while it has a kind of a cool skin, it looks a lot like this, but you have enough difference with that kind of snake pattern. Black Snake makes sense. Looks pretty cool. Stat-wise here, you have increased damage because you have 2 pellets, but it's decreased per pellet. The accuracy is lower, but the fact that you have 2 pellets, it's almost higher accuracy. You have a lower magazine size and a lower corrode chance, but you have 2 chances to corrode, but that's pretty low. Yeah, it's too low in my opinion. I don't see a point for that. You could have just left it. It wouldn't have broken the gun. This is another one that suffers. It's parts locked, so you can't change it. You can't even get an accessory on it, which is somewhat lame. But you're always going to get good parts. That's cool. But it's corrosive only, which is not really cool. So here, you can see it kind of zooms in on a regular pattern. And the bullets do have a spread, which makes it kind of hard to put them both on crit. Especially at distance. They're just too far away. So if you want to crit an enemy, you kind of have to aim off-center from that enemy to land 1 on them. But then you're only hitting them with 1 pellet that doesn't do much damage. So you almost have to go for body shots with this, which is kind of lame. Now, if there was loaders in this game, that spread would be perfect for hitting them in like both arm joints or both hip joints, depending on distance. And that'd be pretty sweet, and it's corrosive, but this game doesn't have loaders. It does have power suits, but doesn't have loaders. So you can kind of see this with this guy. To crit, I have to aim over here, but then I'm not actually doing much damage So I'm almost better off just hitting them in the body. The loader here actually doesn't have crit spots, which is lame. Yeah, I mean, it's nice that it's only one bullet for the 2 shots, but if this came in all elements, it'd be a little cooler at least. It'd kind of be like the ×2 guns in Borderlands 1. For a long time, I was running around with a ×2 Stinger, which was really excellent. But unfortunately, this thing just isn't really excellent due to everything. The spread is a little too wide. It's old Hyperion, which isn't as good as new Hyperion. It's corrosive only, and there's not many corrosive enemies in the game. DPS-wise, I guess on RK5 maybe it's decent, but it's just... And there are enough corrosive bosses, but it's not even that fantastic on them. Yeah, it's not a fantastic gun. Now, if you get close enough, you can hit them with both of these. That's cool. But it's just really, I don't know, a limited gun that looks really awesome. I mean, look at this in my hands. It looks fucking fantastic. I think they did a phenomenal job there. Yeah, I'll just bring it up one more time. It looks fucking sweet. But it's not sweet. I think the damage... Maybe the damage decrease is okay. That dot thing is dumb. The lowered magazine size is dumb. This is based on a blue. You don't have to lower that much stuff to make it balanced because it's 2 pellets for the price of 1. I think this is a classic case of overbalancing a gun. We're like, alright, well, since it's got 2 pellets, we've got to really nerf the rest of the gun. But blue guns are not purple guns, so you don't have to do that much. I mean, look at the Fatale. The Fatale, they added a 75% crit bonus and just really increased other stuff. It has, like, no negative impact. And that's a really good gun. So with this one, I get maybe that damage, but the rest of it you should leave alone. Leave the crowd chance alone. It'll make it a decent dot gun. It's only 10%. It's not that big. Leave the accuracy, I get it, because there's 2 pellets. It's going to be a little wider. That's actually kind of good. But the magazine size, really? Why? Just leave it alone and make it all elements, and this is a really good gun. But as it stands, it's kind of a gun that no one really uses and no one talks about, and you don't see a lot of love about it. So, I mean, maybe in the comment section there are some of you that really love this gun, and that'd be cool to see. But I think this is kind of a mistake done by Gearbox with just, once again, the classic overbalancing. And when you put to the fact that you have 3 red text Hyperion SMGs and 2 of them are just redone bitches, not the coolest thing in the world. And this kind of, goes to show the issues of the pre-sequel. And hopefully we can resist that in BL3. That's the whole point of doing this series, is kind of, look at how they made all these guns in comparison to the guns they are based off of. Hopefully Gearbox just takes a good look at how they made guns in Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel and avoids some of the bad ones and make more good than bad. But also the lessons in the pre-sequel of all the rehashes. Now, from Borderlands 1 to Borderlands 2, they really redid the gun system. So even when they brought guns back, like the Hellfire was way different. The Skullmasher was different enough. All the guns brought back weren't quite like just like, oh, hey, I used this gun before. They're different enough because the whole gun system was different. But in Borderlands 2 to the pre-sequel, you had the same base gun system. So in Borderlands 3, I hope they redo the entire gun system again. Maybe do a kind of a mashup between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 gun systems. And a big difference is Borderlands 1 gun system, you didn't have the manufacturer gimmicks, which I want them to keep. I think those are awesome. But Borderlands 1, there is more part variation. And you could get legendary grips, legendary barrels, legendary whatever. In Borderlands 2, legendaries were pretty much always based off the barrel. I think there was some, like the Fremington's Edge had a legendary scope. And there's the legendary blade on the rapier. A few little things like that, but 98% of it was legendary barrels. So I'd like to see the return of legendary grips and stocks, and I don't know if there was legendary stocks in Borderlands 1. I don't know that part system all that well. But I like to see them do that. So even if they do bring back the Bitch and bring back the Hellfire and bring back the Maggie or the Skull Masher or any of these guns, they're different enough. You know, bring back the Masher Barrel, maybe separate repeaters and revolvers again. You know, there's a lot they can do to make the gun system interesting again, because I'm just scared that in BL3, I mean, I'm optimistic about BL3, but one little kind of concern of mine is if they use the exact same base system, gun base system for Borderlands 2, it's like, I already know the Muck Muck, I already know the Snyder. And that was, again, one of the problems with the pre-sequel is we knew all the base guns, and then the red text guns weren't different enough. So this video, I guess why I went on this rant here, is just, it kind of exemplified it with just 2 of the 3 guns being rehashes. And they did add in Old Hyperion to the Hyperion gun style, which is kind of cool, but fortunately Old Hyperion guns weren't very good. Dame and I did a really cool video about that I should link if I remember to. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry about that long-winded rant at the end, but that's kind of what these videos are about. I will see you all later. Bye.